All right, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of SWAC Smoke. We are episode 11. We're getting ready for week 5. So we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. We're not gonna waste too much time. We got a big game tonight, Pine Bluff at Prairie View. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about that. I want to start off though first. Let's go ahead and a little bit of news that came out with the Alcorn AD stepping down. Just want to kind of quickly get some thoughts on that. So you want to get us started on that?
Yeah, man. I kind of figured something like that was gonna happen sooner than later. I don't see how you let your championship program, go without athletic trainers. I don't see. I mean, you outsourcing. I'm hearing you outsourcing trainers or whatever you got going on. But before the season started, you should have had somebody on contract that works directly for Alcorn. Your football team or any athletic team should never go without some type of athletic trainer on campus. So uh, if he had something against the coach as well, then of course that was going to be a problem. So I mean, if I'm Alcorn, I'm trying to keep out all bad apples.
Oh yeah, I think you really want to keep this ship moving as tightly as you can. Football is obviously the big dog at your school, so you need that to be well taken care of and satisfied. Everything else is going to fall into place after that. But you can't have these kind of stories come out that you don't have the proper personnel. This is Division 1 football, so you should not have those issues. And if you hard to get along with, or you and the coach having problems, then I'm sorry. I'm siding with the coach if he's winning. I mean, if he a losing coach, then hey, I'm not worried about you. But if you're a championship caliber coach that's won championships and is an alumni and a great player at the school, then I think you need to really make sure that he's happy and go from there. So we'll see what kind of moves they make from this point on. I'm gonna be eager to see this. This basically came out not long, I guess about an hour or so ago. I saw it for the first time, so this is something just kind of really wanted to put out there before we start to run down this week's game or last week's games and share our thoughts. So you want to go ahead and hop to week 4 recap?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and
All right.
so first up we got Delta State JSU. I mean, we both picked JSU. However, Delta State exposed JSU a little bit more, if you ask me. Um, that last drive for Delta State, I'm still scratching my head as to what the quarterback was thinking on the last play. He just threw the ball out the back of the end zone. I don't know what that was about, but JSU was definitely on the heels. I just think they not running the ball enough. That run game or lack of run game is going to cost them if they don't get that corrected.
Yeah, I think the offensive line issues are continuing. They gave up 5 sacks to Delta State. Delta State's a very good Division 2 football team, but when you have a team that supposedly has a lot of great transfers coming in at all positions, and I heard people say Jackson's brought in some transfers on the O line, you can't allow your quarterback to get hit the way they did, and that's gonna hurt you in games against comparable talent. Um, I thought Delta State was a quarterback away from winning that game. Like you said, I still don't know what we saw in that on that last throw because he had time to throw the ball, and
Yeah,
I still don't know what I don't know if he thought he had ball at wide receiver or something like that. But that ball was totally uncatchable. That wasn't even one of those throw it up and hope for interference. You couldn't even get that off of that. So that was just they escaped, and a lot of times they a lot of times games like that can't hurt you. And like comment we just get from my boy Jamie G. He said that Jackson State played down to their opponent, and I think for a bit they did. I think they played well defensively, early especially. I thought the offense did some things, but sometimes you can up a little bit, but those offensive line issues they have to get fixed, man. That can't happen.
All right. We'll move on to Prairie View, Grambling State. That's pretty much exactly what I thought would happen in that game. Although I am happy to see that they went on and put in the freshman Noah Bowden. I mean, I've been saying they might as well give him a shot. They're not having any success out of any other quarterback now. They run through all their quarterbacks and they still don't have any success. Then hey, we got to look at something else. Obviously it's got to be the old line, the old offensive coordinator. Somebody got to go.
Oh yeah, and like you said, when this kid has a great pedigree coming in, highly ranked, you can't keep him off the field. And when your quarterbacks are throwing for 70 yards a game, that cannot happen. And I thought this game basically went the way I thought it did. Grambling's defense actually played pretty well, considering what the offense did to them. But I wanted to say one thing about this game that didn't really have anything to do with the on-field action. It's a shame that this game has been going on for as long as it has, and it's hardly ever televised. I heard somebody say the promoter doesn't want this game on TV because they don't want to lose the fans. But people are going to watch the game, and then next year they're going to want to come. I mean, you're at the State Fair, you're in Dallas, you're 2 for 1, you get to go to the fair before and after the game, you get to watch it. Typically a good game, especially this year with all these SWAC games on TV. I thought this game should have been televised. And that was like no info. I couldn't even find a box score on Sunday morning.
Right.
So it was just crazy. So I just wanted to throw that out there because this game is a big game. It's a heated rivalry. And, it should be televised. But Grambling, y'all got your eviction notice. So I hope Prairie View let us borrow that for the Bayou Classic because I do want to evict y'all from the Dome, man. Couldn't do it from Independence Stadium, but I want to evict y'all from the Dome.
All right. You got Alabama A&M and Tuskegee. Of course, we both picked A&M. I thought Tuskegee, put up a good fight in that game. But at the end of the day, A&M just that much better than them.
Yeah, A&M offense, man, you can't beat it. Their offense is they're gonna do what they want to do. They're gonna run it. They're gonna throw it to all the receivers. Glass gonna look good, but their defense still has some work to do. Man, they can't stop anybody. I don't know if it was the case that you playing a lower division team and you kind of not really fully focused because you got a bye week coming up and you're just trying to make it through. But this defense has yet to have a good performance. So they went into the bye week giving up 30-something points a game as a defense. It's amazing that they're undefeated. So hopefully they can get that fixed.
Also, I want to point out that as well as Glass is playing, he still turned the ball over. He has 2 turnovers in this game. So that's something to keep an eye on as we go into this week against Grambling and also the week after against Jackson State. I think that hurts them when they playing against an opponent such as Jackson State. He can't turn the ball over.
Oh, yeah. And, Grambling this year, maybe not so much, but the last couple of times he's played against Grambling, he did not look good. Grambling turned him over. One game, I think they had 2 pick sixes, and they beat him. So I don't think I don't want to jump the gun on a preview, but that can't happen. Those turnovers for a quarterback as good as he is, he can't turn the ball over like that.
All right. Here's a game where obviously I picked wrong, you picked right. Bethune-Cookman, Alabama State. Bama State just balled out. Bethune-Cookman, that game right there showed me that they missing something. They got some pieces, but they don't have that. They don't have something to get them over the edge.
Yeah, I didn't think that game was gonna go like that. I thought it'd be a close game, maybe last second field goal, late touchdown. Bethune-Cookman 12 yards rushing on the night, and they came in with the leading rusher in the conference. That Alabama State defense really stepped up big time. I thought the offense made a lot of plays. Bethune-Cookman, they got some soul searching to do, man, because they in trouble right now. A lot of people said they were gonna come in and run the SWAC, and they was upset they was picked fifth, but they had a couple close losses, but them close losses can only carry you so far. So it's time to get a W somewhere, because otherwise they're gonna fall too far behind.
It's like they can't put a full game together in all phases. I mean, they showed bright spots in certain games and different phases of the game, but they just can't put it all together. You got TSU and Rice, which that went how we thought it would. But I'm also glad to see that they're young freshmen finally getting the start. I mean, I'm glad to see some of these coaches not waiting until mid-season or the end of the season to make some changes. But again, that went how like I thought it would go.
Yeah, the first half was probably more of what their game really was. But Texas Southern showed a lot of fight in the second half. Like you said, the young freshmen came in, led them to 4 touchdowns. Defense still can't really stop anybody, but the offense is growing. And nowadays, man, freshman quarterbacks, they have to play. If they read it, if your team don't have an established guy and you got a young guy and you're not a championship caliber team, you should go ahead and play him and get him experience, because them days of sitting a guy on the bench for 3 years and playing his last year, them days are over. So I'm excited to see what he can do the rest of the season.
All right, we're going to take a trip to Jackson and talk about Southern and Mississippi Valley. And boy, was I hurt that I didn't see Ladarius Skelton run out on the field as the starting quarterback.
And that's so much. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. I understand the big picture, but from a selfish standpoint, I want to see Skelton out there in his last year, and I'm really missing Coach Odoms. I'm really missing him because he knew how to get through the Skelton. He was gonna ride with him, but that's more on the selfish side. I listen to your spiel on the team side.
All right. Well, first off, I want to address this comment. I agree. That weekend, it could have been a lot bigger than what it was, but it's the first time. Hopefully, they do it again. I would, I don't know, man. I would prefer if Valley's involved, maybe rotate opponents, because I don't really think Southern and Valley is a game that really draws very well from the other side. But you capitalize on those coming. But it was a good thing, to be able to be in the stadium and the PA announcers and all of that. But the game itself, I didn't know this until after the game that Bubba McDaniel was slated to start on Monday. So apparently Skelton still got a knee problem, but the coach said after the game that this is McDaniel's job going forward. So I don't know, I think you need to, pick a guy and go with it. I don't know. I don't know if McDaniel is fully ready for SWAC play. We're going to find out. If he's not, I don't know if they're going to rotate again, but Skelton's healthy. He needs to be on the field somewhere. As an athlete or whatever, if you watch the Bayou Classic in the spring, the first series they ran at Lampley and Skelton on the field, I think you probably see some things like that to take advantage of his athleticism. But the game itself, I thought Southern controlled the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, nothing, tackling is still poor, out of position, reaching at guys. But Valley did their part, man. They got some athletes at Valley. I was impressed with some of those guys, and they fought hard. They never gave up. And they made me upset, which is a good job to the opposing team. So Valley going to beat some people this year. Maybe not a lot, but I think they're going to win a game or two this year.
Who you think they're going to beat?
I think they play Texas Southern, so probably them and Bethune-Cookman. I think they'll beat Bethune-Cookman. I'm calling it now.
Whoa!
If they don't get their act together, I'm picking Valley over them, man.
Bold prediction. All right. Then, of course, the Alcorn UAPB game. I I think everybody thought that game was over with. You cannot give up a lead like that. You just can't do it. There's no excuse I could give for it. I mean, I'm really speechless. I don't even know how Doc Gamble faced the press. I mean, I don't know what you say other than they came out in the second half and whipped our butts. Most people trying to say that the lack of kicking that field goal causing the game, but I'm a believer. I may be wrong, but I'm not a believer in the whole one play cost me the game. There's several plays and several things over the course of the game that cost you. So I'm not blaming it on the kick or no kick. They just came out and they just got beat. It's just plain and simple.
Yeah, uh, I even a close game, I feel like one play doesn't really dictate, but a game like that, one play definitely doesn't turn it around. Alcorn started running the ball well in the second half. Coach McNair did his thing where he stand on the sideline. He just, looked like he don't want to be anywhere else but in the stadium. And the receivers and Felix Harper went to work, and Pine Bluff continued to throw the football. I had to go back and rewatch the game because I was one of those people that thought the game was I wound up, messing around, just not even paying attention. And I think on Facebook, Alcorn was coming back, so I hurry up and turn it back on. So there was, this was a game that was going to be over, and you can't do that. And I'm concerned with mentally how Pine Bluff is going to be for the next couple of weeks, because a game like this can carry on to the next week. So it's going to be important for Coach Campbell to keep these guys focused and on to the next game.
One thing I will add to it that I just kind of paid attention to, they started moving the pocket. Alcorn, they couldn't sit back there. The front seven of Pine Bluff was, getting to them and disrupting their offense, but they started moving the pocket and moving Felix around. And once they started doing that, it was over with.
Yeah, they just made more adjustments and made a lot more plays in the second half.
All right. We can move on to this upcoming week.
All right.
First game being A&M versus Grambling State. I'm taking A&M. I just think that they're better than Grambling at this point in time, point blank period.
Yeah, I think until Grambling proves to me that they can move the football and score points, this game is not the game for them. A&M defense is not good, but I think they're even good enough to stop Grambling right now. So until Grambling can show me that they can move the football, I go A&M, because A&M is they getting ready for that big game coming up next week. So I hope they don't overlook Grambling, because this could be a trap game, but Grambling offense is not good enough for me to think this is going to be a trap game. So I'm going A&M.
North Carolina Central, Mississippi Valley. I'm going North Carolina Central all day.
I kind of want to. I'm going Valley. This is gonna be Valley first win, because I think they play defense good enough to stop North Carolina Central, at least to slow them down, because they don't have an explosive offense and they like to run, which is something Valley plays typically well and very tough at home. They might always win at home, but they tough at home. So if they could stay close and cut down the mental mistakes, then I think they'll win. So I'm going Delta Devils, man. I'm riding Team Valley all day.
All right. Bama State versus Famu. I'm gonna take Alabama State in this one.
Oh, you gonna take Bama State because you're sitting with them at the game?
Now I'm sitting amongst probably Florida A&M people, but for the sake of this game, I kind of think I think Alabama State got enough firepower on offense. I think they're more a solidified team at quarterback, and I think they play pretty good offense, and they got a really good defense. So I think overall they're probably gonna pull it out. I don't think it's gonna be a beat down or anything. I think FAMU can keep it close, but they they with their uncertainty at quarterback, and they're kind of unstable at their position. I think that hurts them against a good defense.
Yeah, Alabama State defense is quietly one of the better defenses in the conference. A lot of people don't talk about them. They physical, they big, and they do pretty much everything well on all levels of defense. And the offense is capable. You have two good running backs in Gray and Merritt. Ryan Nettles is a guy who is still developing. He's not as consistent as I like him to be, but if he's on, he can hurt you. A&M defense is good, and they have some great receivers. I think they edge at that spot. But who's going to get them the football? I just don't know. I'm just not sold on them offensively. So I'm gonna go Alabama State as well because I just don't know what quarterback from FAMU going to show up. Until they do that, until they show me that, I can't do it.
All right, Bethune-Cookman, South Carolina State. I'm gonna go South Carolina State in this one. Bethune-Cookman, they just gonna have to prove me wrong. Right now, I had faith in them early in the season, and I lost it.
Oh yeah, I've been beating that drum all season. Don't sleep on Bethune-Cookman, man. Do not sleep on these boys. They played UTEP close. They looked all right in the first quarter against CF. They played a good second half against A&M, but that was a beatdown against Alabama State, and I think they're trending the wrong way. You can't run the ball for 12 yards against nobody and win. So South Carolina State's a physical team as well. They're good on defense. They have a comeback, Jacoby Durant. I don't know if you heard of him, but he's a beast, man. He had 2 interceptions against Clemson, and he's a legit NFL prospect. So I think he caused them some problems with their passing game, and I think South Carolina State's gonna win this game at home. So Bethune-Cookman 0-5 coming into the majority of SWAC play is not gonna be good.
Prairie View, UAPB. I'm going Prairie View in this one. I think both teams should play decent tonight. I just think that Prairie View offense should be able to take control of this game at some point. And if PB don't get a good running game going, they're gonna have a long night.
Yeah, I was told after week 1 by one of my viewers that I was sleeping on Prairie View, so I told him I'm gonna wake up and I'm paying full attention to them, man. That defense is good. That was already known coming into the season. Juwan Pass is looking good. They're throwing the ball fairly well. They got to avoid turnovers in this game. If they turn the ball over, then Pine Bluff has a shot. I'm still, like I said earlier, a little bit concerned about how Pine Bluff comes out in this game if they can put last week behind them and focus on this game, because I think it's going to be a good game. I'm saying all that to say I think Prairie View going to win at home. Prairie View is going to be a legit contender in the West, so I think they setting up a couple good matchups down the road with Southern and Alcorn. So I think Panthers will take it.
Yeah, that'll wrap up this week's games. A couple teams, JSU, Southern on bye week. So,
yeah, and to be honest, outside of most people, nobody really paying attention to this week. Everybody looking toward next week, Alabama A&M and Jackson State. That's what everybody looking at, really. And unfortunately, that's not fair because there's some good games on the schedule this week. So, man, y'all still pay attention to these games. I think you're gonna see a couple of outcomes that may surprise you. This game tonight should be good. I think the SWAC is putting on some good shows on these Thursday night games. I don't ever want to see my team playing another Thursday night game, but everybody else, hey, have a blast. I enjoy watching them. I'll be tuning in, and hopefully Prairie View win. I got my purple shirt on. Go Panthers. Hopefully I don't jinx y'all tonight. So y'all do y'all thing. So I don't have anything else to say really. I'm kind of sad for the bye week because I really wanted to go to another game this week. So I hope you have a good time at Bragg. I've been there twice. I've been there twice, and I had bad experiences, not in the stands, but on the field. We got my boy Blue Bloods checking in, man. Y'all check his show out if y'all haven't watched this. This guy is FCS, FBS, you name it, he cover it, and I'm talking about cover it well. He's an A&M guy right now. He loves to kill glass. So he said this is the game of the week, and it put me on to paying attention to this game. So I think A&M. I think Alabama State fan, you're gonna be a good game. So I think you picked a good game to attend. So hopefully you can let us know how it goes, and we have a good crowd and good turnout. Bragg's a tough place to play, man. People they don't slack up on you. They tough on you. So thin-skinned people from the visiting team, stay home. It's not a good place if you don't like to be talked to.
They already talking crazy to me, and I ain't made it to the stadium yet, so I already know how it's gonna be when I get there. And I got an Alabama State shirt I'm thought about wearing, but I don't think I need to do that.
If they give you too much trash talk, man, I'll take care of them. They on the muffler, man. I got you. We're gonna take care of that in the stands for you. So I got you back, man. So just give us a nice little recap after next week. So we're gonna go ahead and get up on out of here and get ready for this game. Go Panthers. I'm a Panther. Jaguars and Panthers are the same thing. Panthers are Jaguars that are afraid to show their spots. So go Panthers.
Somebody said wear some neutral colors. Yeah, I think I might do that.
Wear white. Just wear white. All white. No logos. Like they used to say back in the day when you went to LA. Just wear all white, no logos, no nothing, and you should be good. That way you can you can hop on one side and you can hop on the other side. And nobody
whoever
ever
wins
who you would. So yeah, there you go. So just just play the middle and you'll be good. So I think I don't have anything else to throw out, man. I don't want to stall too much longer before this game. So I still want to throw a couple quick shout outs. Like I said, shout out to the Blue Bloods, man. They do that. Really check their channel out. I'm being totally serious on that. Shout out to my boy Jamie G, no slack. Shout out to SWAC and a Fool. Those dudes, man, they got that BR flavor, man. I love it. Shout out to Off Script, who is like the big dog of this group. So shout out to everybody, man. You want to say anything to anybody before we bounce out?
Nah, man, I'm good actually.
All right. Well, like I say, we'll be back next week. Another live episode. There is no Thursday night game, so we won't have to worry about that. So just let us know in the comments when you check this out what you think, and we'll be back next week. So we're gonna holler at y'all.
All right.